Alright, so I've been bouncing between the OnePlus 13s and the brand new OnePlus 15R. And I'll be honest, this one isn't as obvious as it looks. You'd think the choice is simple, small phone or big phone. But the moment you dig past the surface, the R series starts to pull its weight. The 15R sneaks in a higher refresh rate display, better durability ratings, faster UFS storage, and performance that goes punch for punch with the 13s's chipset. That said, specs never tell the full story. The real gap starts showing up once you start using them properly. How long they last, how hard you can push them, how they handle gaming, and where they cut corners. And depending on what you care about, the answer can flip pretty quickly. If this kind of real use comparison video do help you, please consider subscribing, and yeah, don't forget to smash that like button. Now let's break this down, starting with the design. At first, these two phones look very different. But once you actually start using them, that gap shrinks fast. The 13s is the compact option, easier to grip, easier one-handed, and just lighter on your wrist. The camera modules differ. Square on the 13s, rectangular on the 15R, but overall design language is basically the same. Flat glass on both sides, aluminum frames, and premium feel. Both use the silk glass finish, but the 15R handles fingerprints better, especially in mint breeze. The darker 13s smudges quicker. Durability is where the 15R takes the lead. It jumps from the 13s's IP65 to full IP66, IP68, IP69, even IP69K. Plus, it gets Gorilla Glass 7i, which is way better than Crystal Shield in terms of protection. So in the hand they feel similar, but the 15R is clearly the tougher device. Now, the displays are where I really started noticing some proper differences between these two. The OnePlus 13s comes with a 6.3-inch screen, while the 15R goes much bigger with a 6.8-inch panel. Both are 1.5K AMOLED displays, and honestly, despite the size difference, they look almost equally sharp. What the 15R does pull ahead is the refresh rate. It gets a 165Hz panel compared to the 120Hz panel on the 13s, but that 165Hz only kicks in for certain supported games. In normal, everyday use, both phones are capped at 120Hz, so the difference isn't always obvious. The 13s does fight back a bit though, because it uses LTPO panel while the 15R sticks to LTPS. Brightness is where the 15R edges ahead. It hits 1800 nits versus 1600 on the 13s. And you can see that advantage with HDR. Both have in-display fingerprint scanners, but the ultrasonic sensor on the 15R feels quicker and more reliable than the optical one on the 13s. Well, performance is where it gets fun for me. On paper, both of these phones are monsters. The OnePlus 13s runs Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's fast, efficient, and ridiculously consistent. The 15R is the first phone to launch with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, and that alone makes this comparison interesting. The 15R pulls ahead in RAM and storage. It uses LPDDR5X Ultra and faster UFS 4.1, while the 13s sticks to LPDDR5 and UFS 4.0. Real-world performance is basically identical. Smooth, fast, no hiccups. Benchmarks are also close. In Antutu, they are basically tied. The 13s scored 2.93 million, while the 15R came in at 2.92 million. But the 15R shows better multi-core scores in Geekbench and stronger stability in 3D Mark, while the 13s throttles sooner because of its smaller body. Gaming is the real separator. The 13s delivers 118 to 120 FPS popular games like BGMI and Call of Duty Mobile, but the 15R can push up to 165 FPS and hold it better thanks to the improved cooling. Software is the same on both. OxygenOS 16 with clean animations, good customization, and AI tools like PlusMind. Both get 4 major updates and 6 years of security patches. But the 15R lasts one version longer since the 13s has already used one of the updates. Moving on to the cameras. This is where the two phones take very different approaches. The OnePlus 13s gets a 50 megapixel main sensor and a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto and no ultra-wide. The 15R gets a 50 megapixel main camera and an 8 megapixel ultra-wide. In daylight, both main cameras do a solid job. Colors look good and detail is strong. Although the 15R underexposes a few shots at times. The 8 megapixel ultra-wide on the 15R is honestly underwhelming. Colors can be decent, but detail drops pretty quickly. At 2x zoom, the difference is obvious. The 15R crops into the main sensor and you start losing detail. The 13s switches to its telephoto, and while colors don't always perfectly match the main camera, the results are cleaner and more consistent. In low light, the 15R actually surprised me on the main camera and did better than the 13s. But once you switch to ultra-wide or zoom in, things fall apart fast. Portraits are mixed. The 15R gives you more framing options, but the 13s produces more natural looking bokeh. Both phones use 32 megapixel selfie camera and perform well. I personally like the 15R a bit better. Now for video, the 15R offers 4K at 120 fps while the 13s supports Dolby Vision. In a simple but fair 4K 60 test, the 13s delivered better colors and stability. Well, neither of them are camera first phones, but I would pick the 13s over the 15R. A good telephoto beats a weak ultrawide any day. Battery life is wild on both. The 13s with its 5850 mAh battery comfortably gave me 2 full days without changing my usage. The 15R takes that and goes bigger. Its 7400 mAh battery plus a more efficient chip means it just refuses to die. I still got 2 days with heavy use, but 3 days is definitely possible. Both charge at 80 watt, around 50 minutes for the 13s and a little over an hour for the 15R. But no wireless charging on either, which is a big miss if you ask me. So which one would I pick? As much as I like compact phones, obviously the 15R makes the stronger case. For day-to-day stuff, there is no difference between the 13s and the 15R. But the 15R actually pulls ahead in gaming, battery life and overall feel. The cameras may not be perfect, but I'm okay with that trade-off. The 13s still makes sense if you want a smaller phone and care more about portraits and that telephoto lens. But if you want the better all-rounder, especially for gaming and battery life, the 15R is the one to get. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.